It's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. Time for you to expect something wonderful.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's Mark Husson. This is Mark Husson's Astrology Hour coming to you live at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, 11 on the East Coast, 8 o'clock. I'll get it right, whatever. Y'all know where I am. I'm live, and it's good to be here with you. How you doing? I really do know what date it is. It's March 4th. No, it's September 8th. What? It's September. Should it be really September already? I don't know. I guess it should be. It should be, right? Because time does not go by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still my name that song? All right. So thank you all so much for coming. I'm having such a good time already this morning. Thank you. I'm going to give a shout out to the people in the room. If you haven't been to the room is a lovely and safe place to habitat. There's amazing people in the room. I'm going to shout out to them. You guys are just lovely people. Thank you so much. But go to youtube.com and then /@ MH, Mark Husson, MH, Astrology, and you'll see the live. That's it. You can come in the room if you want. You just you can watch. You don't have to, you can just watch the room. You don't have to type anything. I won't embarrass you, I promise. No, I don't promise that. I might embarrass you. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm glad to be here with you, and thank you so much. Let's say hi to some of the lovely people that came by today, starting with Lenny. Hey, Lenny. She's Lenny. Terry Campbell's here. These guys, you know, I do not want to say this because I don't want you all ever to feel pressure, but it's kind of like familiar when I see you, and I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Carolyn Ferris is in the house. Thank you, Carolyn, for being here. Carolyn will be the first Virgo listed in the room that I know of. I know there's others. Lenny says that feels like we're having a party. I hope so. That's what I want. Renee's in the house. Thanks, Renee, for being here. You're so sweet. You're also one of the ones whose name is so good to see. Thank you very much, Laura. All of you. Thank you so much. Gypsy's in the house. Gypsy Sky's Caravan. One of you is the Virgo, Karen. I know, and you'll remind me. It's the names that throw me for a minute because I don't see your name there, but you'll tell me. Quelly's in the house. Hi, Quelly. Thanks for being here. Shelly, I'm so glad you liked the bird bath. Thank you. That is so fun for me to have live while we're sitting out here, and that's like literally my weather real time. I moved the camera a little because there was a turkey, and I'll bring it back up for us to play in later. I'm setting it up so I can actually have a dual screen so we can like check out the outdoors action, because there certainly has been some as the weather changes. Truly, thanks for being here. So good that you take the time to do that. That's so kind of you. You've been around for such a while with us, and I so appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad it's a beautiful morning. Penny, thanks for coming. Happy Monday back to you. I'm so glad you heard the music. That's good. Serena's in the house. Hey, Serena, how you doing? Thank you. Serena, I am having so much fun with the shirt thing, you guys. It's been really fun. I am I don't know. I'm like kind of going broke in the moment. Like, I love that shirt. But props to Annie, who has done some of the ones that, you know, the one that said you matter. And then it says, unless you're doing energy, and then it's like you energy. And the orbiting moon around the earth. Those are from my friend Annie, who is a seamstress and a teacher. And we've known her for 100 years, even though she's still only 29. I appreciate her so much. Erica, great show today. Thank you so much. I love that you opened the show. You do not open for me. I love that your show is timed before mine. Thank you. Gypsy is a Capricorn sun, Sag moon, Aquarius rising. What an amazing combination right in a row. Donna's in the house. Hi, Donna. Good morning from a Cancer in the Northwest Pacific. I enjoy your show. Thank you, Donna. That's so sweet. I can't even think. I got to talk to you about this thing too. I will in a minute. Let me say hi. Yes, it is eclipse season, Erica, for real. Oh, we have so much to talk about, don't we? And Judith is in the house. Hi, Judith. Thanks for being here. She said the Matter Energy shirt was super. The Annie, see, people loved it. Good morning, Mark. Love the t-shirt. Thank you. I love it. You know, the pressure. But I do have this rack, I swear to you, it rotates. Not it doesn't, but I have the hanger that goes back here, and then I get the next one. I'm like, have I worn this in a while? I don't think I have. But then I ordered new ones, and it's like, oh, okay. And anyway, it becomes, I'm Mars and Pisces. Can you just fantasize what the closet area looks like? I mean, just fantasize about it. You know it's pristine and perfect. Not really. I know. Anyway, it's a pile. But it's my pile, and I do it. They're clean. That's the Virgo part. The Pisces part says, yeah, but they're in a big, giant, clean pile. And it's like, I know. I'll get them all put up eventually. So, yeah. Okay. Nadine, thank you so much for being here. Okay, you guys. So that reminded me when I was back. Let me think what I was going to tell you, because I was going to. Oh, okay. Yes. We have okay, so we just had this big eclipse, and it was in Pisces, right? And so the 15 Pisces, and I'm going to bring the chart up. We're going to talk about it for sure. But the thing about Pisces that is so important, that I think it's so vital to remember, is that it has a mystical quality to it that's kind of hard to put into words. So if you're like, you know, like thinking, okay, how do I explain this quality? You might have a hard time doing that, because there's no, hang on. It's like being, there we go. Thank you. I had to set my screen up because it's being stupid. And, but there was no words to explain sort of like the mystical nature of Pisces, except it's dreamlike and it's drug-like. But really, if you take this into like the sort of true mythological zone or the metaphysical zone of Pisces, it is absolutely amazing, the depth and breadth of what this energy does. That's why I think Pisces people are so varied. I think they have such a distinct difference of way they do life. And I think it's really hard for them to explain the experience. And I think it's kind of hard for us to understand it. AKA, why are my t-shirts in a pile when I have hangers right above them? That's the microcosm of the big question. So in this eclipse, so when we get this thing happening, when we go through this energy, all of a sudden we're in that dream. And you know, when you fall asleep and you're in the dream, it's like, you're not like, oh, I'm suddenly dreaming. You're in it. You're in that flow. And so it's kind of fun to do what you can to have that information, to keep one little lucid part of yourself awake while this energy sort of rushes over us. Okay. It's Pisces. I mean, I was out this morning with the boys. I cannot wait to get together with this camera, this little camera I have that makes spherical images. I put one up on Facebook. Y'all were very sweet about your responses to it. But what it does for the night vision, and what it does for me to start seeing the world. So we had the moon. It was so bright tonight. It was 5 a.m. It was so dark and so bright. Oh, so I got to tell you a quick story. We're walking and they're pulling me, the dogs, like they're pulling me. I even think I got a little of it on camera, but I'll have to look. And so I'm like, come on. What are you doing? And so they're pulling really hard. And I'm like, I've got 2 leash things, you know, and I've got the phone because I'm trying to do Wordle, which I got into today. I was going to wear my Wordle shirt. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. I know. You know how you punish people? You know, when people fight, like people who are close friends, you know how they punish each other? They send the Wordle answer in a text. They don't even say anything. They just put the answer. Mean. Anyway. They're pulling really hard and I can't see anything because I had put the phone in my shirt, and that's the flashlight I'm using. So I'm like, I can't see anything. And all of a sudden, you guys, this thing is moving, and it's moving kind of toward me. And then it goes this way, and a big tail up like this. It was a skunk, and it was this close to shooting off. And oh my God, I am so grateful. This would have been my morning. This This would have ended my morning. I would not be the guy I'm talking to now. It wouldn't have happened. I would be like, I've never seen a skunk. I've never seen a skunk ready to fire at me, at the boys. So it's running really fast out with the tail stiff as a board, straight up. And I was like, okay, you guys, with all my mind, I was like, stop, you guys, stop. What a moment for the eclipse. I was like, thank you, moon. Thank you. Just enough light for me to see like this. Oh my God, get away. So they're fearless. They go after it, but you know, they were with me, so they think they can be fearless. And so anyway, what a moment. And so we walk on, but the moon was bright. It was like this gorgeous, perfect, picture perfect moment of what a full moon is. And I know we had just had this eclipse. Well, right on Saturday, before that eclipse is brewing, I get a text from a neighbor who said, would to be okay to come and see you in the morning. And I was like, I always, you know, I check with John, see if like he'd be willing to get up, because I kind of like, okay, well, this guy, I ran into him walking the dog a couple times, could not be one of the nicer people I've ever met in my life. And one day he said, it was Easter. We met on Easter Sunday morning. And I said, hi, Dennis. And he said, hey, Mark. And he goes, happy Easter. And I said, same to you. And he goes, do you go to a church? And I go, I don't, but do you? And he goes, yeah. And he told me about his church. I said, that's so lovely. And he goes, you know what's lovely? I'm a man who just loves God. That's all. That's how he said it. And I said, that it just touched me. It was so sweet. He wasn't like, and therefore you should love him too. It was the sweetest person, right? So this is the guy. He wants to come over. Now, this is the Pisces part. Because I think Pisces is the fish, right? And isn't the fish used in Christian theology, right? And so there is a Christian origin story to the Pisces myth too. We'll get into it. But anyway, he comes over. I texted back, yes, absolutely. Oh my God. So sweet. And he just talked. He was a carpenter and he had an insanely successful business, but his dad, who was also a man of God, wanted him to, shirk life and just become a carpenter. And he I had a lot of pressure, but I protected my brothers and sisters who got to go on to college, and I became a carpenter. And I was like, and I said, Jesus was a carpenter. Like, I'm telling the guy. And he said, and you know what I think? And I go, what? And he said, I've often wondered what words Jesus used when he'd slam a hammer on his thumb. That was it. Sweet moment. Pisces moment. And I gave him a couple of loaves of bread to take home. He was so touched by that, like people giving him a gift, right? And to me, that was a Pisces moment. That was a moment of shared friendship, of compassion. And he, you know what he said? I get a little teary about this because he's so gentle. And it reminds me of just the passing of life. Like, life passes, it just moves. And he said, the last person I told that I was a man of God to, that I was just a man who loves God, he said, goes way out of their way to avoid me. And it makes me very sad. And it was very touching. He meant it from his heart, like that we weren't turned off and were very receptive to whatever. I mean, you're into whatever. And if I'm afraid of that, the only thing I ever get afraid of is that I'm putting in a situation where I have to be a little rude or say, hey, I don't want to have this discussion. Didn't have to do any of that. So it was very sweet. And it was very telling about acceptance, right? About what we do, what we can do to accept people, what we can do to accept ourselves, what we can do to remember how safe we always are. Okay, so we get to hear all the stories about how, it's important. I want to do reaction videos. I'm telling you, some of my daily morning Mark Husson Astrology moments, I want to be able to have like where I'm reading something about some other person is saying something, how terrible the world is, how bad the state of things are. I just don't want it to ever get political for me yet, because it takes it out of the context of the magic of astrology in a way, but also astrology talks about the current time period and talks about the state of things. But you hear the fear. And, I've been anti-fear since you've known me, most of you, for 25, 30 years. Was writing the Fearless Astrology book when Hay House knocked on my door. And then I chucked that for Love Scopes for this because I thought he would be a lot more supportive of me. But anyway, fear is what controls your everything, okay? The news media that gets the fear, if it bleeds, it leads, the thing. And so astrology is no different. If these people can if you put a thing up like, all's clear this week, who's going to read it? But if you put up 7 warning signs to watch out for this week in astrology, you're going to run to that thing. Like, what am I watching out for? And I get it. Somehow the mind's job is to protect us from this terrible, terrible thing that is really happening, that it thinks is really happening. And the mind is gonna do that. It has to. That's its job, because its job is to keep you alive. Remember the phrase, the mind's job is to keep you alive, or whatever you identify with. Okay. And so if you identify with your car and the mind's job is to keep you alive, but you're identified as a car and your car starts rolling off a cliff, the mind will throw your body in front of it to stop the car. So the mind's job is to keep us alive, but we aren't the mind. Right? It's a piece of us. We have another part that looks and observes and says there's other things happening. The Pisces part of this eclipse is that other part. It's the part of us that gets to say, maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe this forest is composed of individual trees. Or maybe this tree is part of something bigger that we can see. And that's kind of our job during this cycle. Now I'm going to bring the chart up so we can talk a little bit about it, how it possibly affected you, why things are happening the way they're happening, and I will definitely check comments in the room. Let me see how you guys are doing first. Okay, I know what's going on. Thank you very much. Yes, I stretched my screen and then it was like reacting every time I moved and I didn't know what was going on. Okay, Terry, oh boy, you are lucky. Tomato juice best for everybody if a skunk hits. Been there. And where am I going to get tomato juice from, Terry, at 5 a.m? I mean, it was a nightmare scenario. I am so blessed today. And I'm blessed because I did not get hit by a torpedo of skunk poo. I'm so happy. This is one of those things where gratitude is what didn't happen. Oh my God. What? You got 2 in Wordle too? You did not. Terry, really? Congratulations. I have a shirt. It says deuce. Wordle at the top. Deuce is the word, but it has a word above it. Wordle is the word above it, and then deuce, meaning you're the 2 club. My dog got skunked up here in Morrison. Tomato juice does not work. I heard that too, Shelley. You got a skunk magic sign. That skunk is a symbol of transformation and authenticity. Encourage, but Juran? Hi, Juran is in the house. That's funny. I love it. Thank you, Juran. That authenticity ran away from me. No, encouraging individuals to embrace their true selves unapologetically. I love that because that's true. I do get that. Sahar's in the house. House of Pool. Good day, Sahar. Thank you so much for visiting. Its connection to the earth and the night, along with its ability to see dark intuition, inner vision, the uncovering of wisdom, making it a guide for spiritual awakening. Lori says, I made it for the start today. Pisces sun in the 10th. Hi, Lori. Thanks for being here. Lori Williams. Oh, we know you for so long. Aquarius, I knew you and John in Denver, Colorado. Love the show. I know, Lori. I remember you. You took our classes when we were in the auditorium, whatever that was. Thank you, Sahar. That's so sweet. Thank you, Drew Ann. That's good. You guys, let me tell you, it was so surreal. And I think it was one of those moments where I knew there was a message. I was terrified. That thing had its tail like stiff as a brick and running away from us, but so close, it was just past me. And I'm like, thank you, 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 thank you. For not spraying us. Because, I mean, it did speak to the lack of terror that my dogs generate. But, oh, God bless. I'm like so happy. Anyway, so when we're going into this sort of like Piscean world, I want you to think about the duality of Pisces. I'm bringing the chart on. That's what I wanted to do. And thank you all so much for your comments and for being here and being present and being part of the family and being around the breakfast round table with us. Let's take a look. Okay. Now, boo, boo, boo. All right. There we are. So here's the moon at 15. And then if we pull it back, we'll see the sun at the same 15. And we know that it was the 7th at 11:09 in the morning Pacific time. Now, that energy, look at the nodes are there in Pisces here too. Look at Saturn's in Pisces too. Neptune's 1 degree away from a Pisces moment. It's going to go into Pisces. Look at the Virgo. Full moon has to be comprised of an opposite, like a sign and its opposite. And then there's the south node, the sun and Mercury are in Virgo, and then we have the moon and the north node. We'll consider Saturn's in Pisces. It's very important that we talk about Saturn being in Pisces. Now, I'll split the screen so we can have a little bit of, we'll see you and we'll see the chat. Hopefully the chat will work. I think it will. Okay, good. And I can read, you all will see the messages as they come up. We'll see if they do. I'm a Virgo and didn't sleep last night. Was that the eclipse or drinking coffee? Why? Renee, that is so funny. I know, right? I'm like, I didn't sleep a wink. And John will say it's the eclipse energy. And I go, yeah, that or, the coffee at 2 a.m. But yeah, I did sleep the night of the eclipse. But when I woke up in the morning, this was Sunday morning, I could feel that full moon shift. Now, I feel better on new moons, I have to tell you. I feel like psychologically I am like kind of hitting a reset button on the new moon. And on the full moon, I feel like, whoo, okay, now we're going to let go. What are you letting go of? Well, all the stuff we accumulated and all the stuff we took. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the dynamics. If you're in a dream state, and Duran, thank you so much for the skunk information because that's exactly how we should work this stuff. When I was doing my training in school, if you had a dream in Gestalt therapy, one of the things about Gestalt was everything is a part of you. One of the things about the Course in Miracles, everything is a part of you. One of the things about some of the greatest theories and therapies and psychological sciences in the world is having that observer see that projection is your perception, what you project. We're all looking at this red cup, and some people might see this as it might conjure up some images. Like for me, I got to sip at this thing. For other people, red could be, it reminds them of anger. It could be a friend that had a red cup that died. Who knows? But we have associations and we immediately, that's that mind. What's the mind's purpose? To keep you alive. And what's the purpose of the mental mind? To keep you alive. So it's projecting that red, okay, all the things that we know about red cups, right? In a flash. And that's how we do our life. So you wake up on this Pisces energy and this eclipse, and you're looking at the world. And let me tell you something. If you didn't take a moment, just a moment if you haven't taken a moment yet to kind of look at the day, look at the week, look at some event in your life and go, if I had that dream and I became a piece of each component of that dream, what would I be? And here's an example. The cup. You dreamt of the red cup. Now take a minute and you go, I am a red cup. I am here to hold water. I am here to keep it hot. I am here to keep the warmth. And you start seeing all the things that you think a red cup is, and you start seeing all the things you think you are because you see what's inside of you. Or you see all the things you think a red cup should be. And so we see our shoulds. That's why this projection thing, like people say, only see what you are. No, you only see what you're judging, what your opinion is. Because ultimately we are nothing. We're connected. If you believe that you're the beam of light, of love, if that's it, and then you vanquish, you wake up when it's done, that's one philosophy. But the idea is, in the meantime, you're making it up as you go along. What you like, what you don't like. I've told you the story a million times about the little girl who ran into the store when we were having a gathering, like we were having an open house. She runs into the store. I get on my knees and I go, "Oh my God, you are so cute." And she's giggling and I just want to go. And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much for being here. Where's your mommy?" And she turns around to get her mom and hits a guy's knee. Okay? That's how little she was. And I was like, "Oh, baby, baby, baby." So we walk her to the front door. Mom comes up to the porch and said, "I knew this place had bad energy." And she takes her daughter and picks her up and leaves. Okay. So it took me a minute to shake it off because I was like, dang, but it taught me the biggest lesson in the world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We could have been the nicest people, the meanest people. We could have been, but that woman had a reality and she got it confirmed. And you know, my thing about confirmation bias is real. I'm going to talk to you about that. I always talk about confirmation bias. I think the state of our world is confirmation bias. I think everything is based on a foundation. You believe it, you are now seeing it. Not because you're projecting it, not only because you're projecting it, but because that thing when you decide you're going to buy this new car, and now that's the only car you see. What is that? Coincidence? No. The power of confirmation bias. The power that suddenly you have a belief locked in and you only confirm the things that verify that belief. I know for a fact most of us are living that life. I know it. You believe you live in a corrupt place. Everything that looks even remotely corrupt verifies it. Everything that is not corrupt, it can't even register. What if that were true? For real? What is it going to say about where you sit right now, about your beliefs about the world, your beliefs about government, your beliefs about boyfriends, girlfriends, people? You've already got them established. And if you've already got them established, all you're doing is proving your beliefs. So at what point do you snap that open? You can't without effort. You can crack it open and say, am I limiting myself to one belief so tightly that I can't let anything else in? Is that possible? Well, the thought of that terrified me so much that I popped it. Did I do it right? I don't know. But I was tired of only seeing what I knew to be true. I wanted to see what I knew, what I didn't know to be true. And I went after it. I'm still doing it. Still doing it. Still doing things that I know that I don't know anything about, like this, my whole journey into gambling, my whole journey. Like, what is that? What is that? And you know what it did? I met the most insanely cool people. Not more insanely cool than you. And I'm still digging. I want to do so much more. But it's like, I can't do that if I have this belief locked in and loaded that the world is unsafe. They're coming to get me. Anything. Because then my confirmation bias will make sure that's all I know. That's all I see. And every phone call I get will be leaning to that. Every bill I get, every bill collector I get, everything. Now, I see it in the gambling world a lot because I post my videos that, you know, if I win or lose, I win a lot, but I don't play a lot. Like, in other words, I'm playing 50 cents, $1. It's not a big deal, but I have a system. It's kind of fun. Okay. I've had people say, you're an affiliate. They like you. They've marked your code so that when you win. Now, it doesn't matter how many times I've lost, and I have to go reference every video that I put up where I'm losing my shirt, but never my retirement. Don't worry. I have to prove to the people who have already locked in the belief, and you can't change that kind of belief. You can't. Okay? So if Christianity bad, okay, then every Christian I meet, I have to sort of like, right? That's why I didn't run away from Dennis. because Christianity isn't bad to me. It is about the people, not Christianity, life. What any one individual does with something matters. So if I've locked them away because of the color of their skin, or because of their bad habits, or because I have a judgment on their habit, or because of their gender, if I've locked them away because I have a preconceived notion, who did I do the disservice to? And I'm not a one-size-fits-all guy. I am not a philosophy across the board that I accept. Individuals. Come to me. Are you sweet? Are you nice? Are you kind? Are you generous? Who are you? Not this faith, so you're locked away, but that's what confirmation bias does. That's what Pisces, seeing the forest, can fall trapped to. Beliefs, delusions. The negative part of Pisces is the falling of trap to you believe the dream. You're not the dreamer anymore. You are the dream. You had it. You know it's true. And do you know any people like you? I know this is true. And I'm making fun of myself when I'm at a slot machine and I'm taping it. Did we still say tape, right? I should say record, but we're taping it. And I go, I know this thing's going to hit, right? My heart is like, please hit it. It doesn't. And I love that. I love it because I want people to see that their feelings don't mean crap when it comes to this and not to just rely on that. It's been a journey. And what I like, that's some of the Pisces message. And that's what kind of Pisces, the cautionary tale of Pisces is, can you snap out of it? Lucid dreaming is hard. If everything you're seeing here was a dream you had, if you pretended and you went back and analyzed it, you'd get some good insight. There's no doubt about it. But being able to do that, have you all tried lucid dreaming? Some of you probably can pull it off. I'm out like that. I wake up instantly and go, oh, I know that was a dream. But when I'm in there thinking I'm dreaming, I'm probably awake. Let me see how y'all are doing. I had really funky dreams last night, Pamela said. Good, Pamela, that's so good. So be at each item in the dream. See what was clearing out. Use it. That's all. But use it in the daytime too. We're dreaming right now, kind of. If you take that as a fun theory. Lenny says, love this conversation about being open to and wonder in the area of what we don't know that we don't know. Like, don't know what we don't know. Yeah. Like, we are safe in what we know, and I'm not like trying to judge any of it. I'm really not. But, there's voices out there that we don't listen to because we think they're dumb or we think they're like, that's not a good thing to do. And all of a sudden you realize, some of the coolest people like this whole gambling thing for me is very judged. YouTube is on me like a hornet. Like, this isn't for kids. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. I've talked to you about that before. But what do? I love it. I enjoy it so much. I've been very cautious. I've been very good at it, but it has stigma to it. I can't get past a lot of people's confirmation bias. What do you think happens when I tell people I'm an astrologer? Ha! What do you think? So imagine what we do in this arena when you tell people you're something, and imagine what we're doing when we hear somebody going, I'm blah, blah, blah. What we do. What are we doing instantly? And we gotta be, that lucid dreaming is waking up to that while you're dreaming. Like when you see that person that you know is probably something that you probably have already made up about them. But you go, I may be wrong. That's lucid. That's where you're busting through, right? That's where the little crack in our egg happens. Drew Ann, brilliant. It is all belief, hologram reflection until the heart, wisdom, consciousness open reveals truth beyond confirmation bias. Thank you, Drew Ann. Drew I'm trying to remember the energy work. Oh my God. We all went to see the gurus. It was so fun. Oh my God, it was so fun. And Joanne was a part of it. Joanne went to India to learn it, and it starts with a D. Joanne, you'll remember me, but Diksha, thank you, yeah. And so Joanne learned this thing, Diksha. She went with her sister to India, and they learned it. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. We would go upstairs to the room at the 12th house, and we would she would do this thing. It took 2 minutes. But I felt, I mean, it was one of the real things for me that I really felt. And let me tell you, I am not a, what was his name? That creepy guy that everybody would go see. I didn't like him. Where he would pull stuff. They say he would pull stuff out. Andy Kaufman did the movie about a man on the moon. And, anyway, I don't care. That's not the point. The point is I didn't like that, but I loved this. And all the gurus in India, like this whole group was coming who were the Diksha masters. And a cat came to visit. Oh, this is such a good story. And Joanne told us about this. So we're all going, me, John, Cat, driving down. And they said, there's all these people on the stage. And they said, meet the eye of one of them. And there's like 15 people on the stage, and we had this Diksha moment. Oh my God, you guys. I'm telling you, my life, I'm not saying my life changed, but those moments for me, I remember after that, things did shift. It was crazy, but not always in a good way. It wasn't good. I had to face some stuff too. But my point is, I wouldn't have done any of that. It wouldn't have done any of that. If I thought somebody was going to convert me, if I thought I had to be like suddenly a guru and go to India and eat some rice or something and curry, no curry. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody. Curry. And I'm not adventurous. I'm not an adventurous eater. Poor John, who loves curry. But I don't know what it is. So there's a million sensory confirmation biases I have. Like, it just smells like something. It smells like incense to me or something. I'm like, John of God, thank you, thank you, thank you. And John of God was like the one that I was like, ew. John goes, you mean you wouldn't go if you got diagnosed with cancer and let him put his hand in your belly and pull something out? I said, no, hell no. No. I don't care. I don't like that. And it turns out he was creepy, but I don't care. If you liked him and he did something good for you, God bless you. I'm just saying, for me, it was like, ooh. And what if I was like, let's be open to it. Let's just go. Like, but what would hurt? What would have hurt? I would have met some amazing people. I know that Kim Wapnick talks a lot about, if you don't judge the journey, okay, if you don't judge it, like people in my industry, you're not allowed to be sick. You're not allowed to get a cold. I'm not kidding. It's a healing crisis, but it's not a cold. You're not allowed to have a virus. You're not allowed to get cancer. You're not allowed. Remember The Secret sort of tore all that up. Said, yeah, if you can believe it, it can happen. So if it happened, you must have believed it. That was the curse of The Secret. If you got sick, you did something. And I'm telling you, it's rampant in this community. It's nasty. It is nasty. And that's the pressure people feel. Don't get sick. Just don't say it's sick. And God bless them, because there's so much that can happen to a body, and it will, and we'll all go out. But Ken said when his wife had cancer and they had to go for surgery, they knew in their heart of hearts it was part of the dream. It was part of the journey. It was part of the love. It was going to be a moment. And something happened with the surgeon and his wife, not a romance, but an insight, a breakthrough, an amazing like thing that I think gave her a gift that she kept forever because of that journey. And she wouldn't have met this guy. It wouldn't have happened. And I don't know what it was. I forget. But there's so many stories like that. Like, it's not, am I going to fix this? Why did I create this? Which we constantly do. I mean, we constantly do it. How many times you heard somebody had lung cancer and your first thought was, did they smoke? Right? I mean, and how many people get lung cancer that never touched a cigarette? And then you're like, oh, well, we're looking for it. Okay, we're trying to find it. If we don't have confirmation bias, we try to make one. It's huge. And all I think is being asked in this Piscean dreamlike thing is that you know you're doing it. Because guess what? The observer, the identification with the observer heals everything. In the moment, I don't know, probably not. But if you recognize, oh, I'm in that fear again, here I am. Oh, I'm doing that fear thing. Eventually it weakens. I've watched that happen. Well, that's why I think I'm where I'm at now. And I'm not in anywhere enlightened place. But I'm in a place now where I'm hearing things that I would never let myself hear. Listening to people I would never let myself listen to. Inviting a man who said his God is the most delightful thing he's ever done in his life is a man who loves God. I'm just a man who loves God. And I was like, come have bread with us. I didn't care. I would have, though. Why didn't I care? Because something pops when you hear the person and get rid of when you see that you have a bias and you know it's going to be projected. But something happens when you see it. It changes. It loses power. Am I done with my confirmation bias? Oh, damn no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I saw that skunk. I didn't think of what Drew posted. I thought, y'all are too fearless. Get back here. That's what I thought. I did want to get on my hands and knees and thank God that I was not wrestling with that today. Thank you. Thank you very much. But that's the nature of gratitude, right? It's like, so sometimes we have to conjure it like ourselves when we're like, and it made me so happy. It did make me happy. That skunk event made me happy. I was like, oh my God. But we go, that's like the moment. Everything feels like the carpet didn't get pulled out from me today. Right. And I know we have a bias that the carpet will get pulled out from us at some point. That's why we don't overly celebrate. We don't overly brag. We don't overly say, oh, I'm just so grateful for everything all the time, because we know we're not. Or we do it and try to hide that we're not. Pisces gives us an opportunity to be compassionate and to be connected to something way bigger than us. That is everything we could have. Later today, the moon is going to go into Aries. And it's a different story, right? But it's a different kind of inspiration. Aries gets you to shake it off a little bit. Like, we could cry about like gratitude and connection and like, oh, this is so sweet. And then Aries comes along and we could be like, I want to go run a marathon because of my gratitude. Like, I'm not going to cry. No, get away. Yeah, that was great. Like, ooh. And I feel lucky and I feel like the fire comes up. And that's happening today for all of you, all of us. We get a chance, and to tell you, it's happening at 11:37 Pacific time, so it's 12:30 Mountain time, 2:30 East Coast. And then, Erica, I guess you do 7 hours from that, so later this evening, and which is just for everybody. In other words, it's in an hour and a half. We're going to have the Aries moon, and we get to feel that shift, burning off some of the soupiness of the eclipse. Now, the eclipse places a point in us at 15 degrees of Pisces. If you keep an eye on that point, as everything else moves, it'll be fun to see if something happens. Now, I can help you with that. Like, Venus is at 15 Leo today, or yesterday it was at 15. What will be the next thing that hits a 15 Pisces point? Mercury. In 4 days, Mercury will oppose that point. So let's see if we get news in 4 days. Let's do it that way. Let me tell you what Dane Rudhyar says about this. So Dane Rudhyar, brilliant psychological astrologer. Okay, he's an old timer, but like in the 40s, I think. Brilliant though. One of the first people to see the planets and the signs as psychological evolutions. Right next to Jung. But he was probably a Jung student of Jung's, not directly. I mean, he's not that old. He was just first one to kind of put it into practical application. And he created a book that he more or less channeled called the Sabian Symbols. And what it did was it took, you know how we do the signs? There's 30 degrees in a sign, but it goes up to 29, right? You all know that, where I'm saying the moon was at 15 Pisces, right? Well, he wrote a book about what each one of those numbers means for every single sign, called the Sabian symbols. And I forget, I should have done my research on why he called it that, but whatever, doesn't matter. You can Google that in 2 seconds, the Sabian symbols. Now, he did, when the moon is at 15, you read the Sabian symbol for 16. You go up 1, okay? And here's what the Sabian symbol for 16 essentially is. I Googled it because I couldn't find my book. But it basically says the flow of inspiration. Dane Rudger's Sabian symbol for 16 Pisces is the flow of inspiration. He further elaborated on this image with the phrase, in a quiet moment, a creative individual experiences the flow of inspiration. Keynote, it says, reliance on one's inner source of inspiration or guidance. Explanation. In his book, An Astrological Mandala, a great book to have on hand, you guys, Rudger, and it's very easy to read, Rudger expands on this symbol, explaining that truly significant creative processes arise from a source that is above and beyond, but also around the individual creator. While the creative output may be unique to the individual, the inspiration itself is given form by the person's cultural, social, and religious background. So he's basically saying the symbol suggests that every genius, in a sense, simply records an answer to the needs of his or her time. The hands that write or play an instrument belong to the individual, but the underlying drive is from the vast collective mind. Whew! Is that powerful for a Pisces? For a Pisces eclipse? Anyway, we get to carry that, okay? All of us. We get to walk around with that. We get to feel this. Thank you, Judith. That is so sweet. That means the world to me. Every one of us gets to have a journey that belongs to us, a belief that we can challenge, right? An idea that we can make manifest, and freedom from being stuck with any one of them. So we get this opportunity. This eclipse provides that. You know that Pisces is the last of the zodiac. Like the sign behind you lacks what you have, right? The sign behind you lacks what you have. By the time and there is also this belief that Aries, you're born, and then you develop a sense of your security in Taurus, and then you're able to communicate in Gemini. You see other people around you, that's a Gemini, and then you're able to nurture yourself and know what you need, that's Cancer, and then you're able to take that up a little higher and feel worthy to get that nurturance, that's Leo, and then you have to I want to get this and put it somewhere in a world, and you're Virgo, you're setting up your home, and you're helping other people do the same. And then your home is set up, and then Libra says, I want a relationship. And then and now you're looking at other people again. But now the air, Gemini connects in communication. Libra, the next air sign we meet, wants to be in relationship, wants to they love sharing the same ideas. It's Venus. And then Scorpio says, ooh, we need to procreate. I'm obsessed about you. Scorpio gets deep, wants to uncover what the secrets are. Sag says, lift up now that we know the secrets, let's go on a journey and spread the word. Right? And then Capricorn says, yes, we spread the word. Now let's build monuments to that word, to that world, and build structures that we can build upon and teach other people. And then Aquarius says, yes, not only teach other people, but share this knowledge freely so that the world can grow and understand. And Pisces says, yes, and let's not forget to love each other. Pisces comes back to we're all one, we're still connected, that each of us look different and we feel different, and we've learned experiences that we sort of believe about each other, but we got to open that up a little bit. Did you know this show is going to be about love? A little bit. But it's not the kind of love you think, because I don't know that we're capable of that in our mental states and all that. It's the kind of awareness that goes, I know probably behind all this is me, that person over there, behind all this stuff. It's just me. And it's just our connection to the one thing that we all have in common, that we all share. But you can't get there when you're so reliant on believing that what you have already is right and enough and the only thing. That's tough. But guess what? Getting there isn't the goal. Okay? The goal isn't this, like, let's be loving people. That's not it. The goal's already been determined. The goal is we get this life, through this life, as happy and as content and as possibly whole and open and with at least pain possible as we can. That's the goal. That's it. Less guilt, more joy, less pain, more hope. That's all we can offer. Any enlightenment that happens here is even temporary, even here. Because we aren't here. There's a bigger part of us connected big, right? I believe that. You don't have to believe it. It's okay. We can go with the theory that you close your eyes and it's over. I get that too. I don't care it doesn't matter, because what happens isn't dependent on me and what I believe about it. But one thing I'm sure, our journey here, one of the things we could do is make it a little easier, make it a little lighter, make it a little more loving. That's it. Avoid more skunk spray. You know what I'm saying? Let me check on you guys and see how you're doing. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Drew Ann said make a short out of the Zodiac segment. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, Drew Ann, that's a really good idea. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Denise. Thank you all so much for coming. Listen, Kat is coming up, and I was supposed to get, I can do this still because I still have a minute. I'm going to post the link to her show. We're gonna make this more formal, where we can actually have this ready. I need to have this ready, and I didn't, but I'll get her show address. It's really easy right here, and I'm just going to paste it, and we'll do that for each other. Here it is. And then there we go. I'm going to post this in the room. If you want to visit Kat, she does readings in the room. You know, Kat, she'll take care of you. I'm so proud of all of you. You guys are just amazing. You make me feel very loved and supported. I hope I make you feel the same. You're the best people I could visit on a Monday morning. I think that's everything. Thank you so much for all the love. Appreciate you all so much. I'm going to fade us out, and please do stay tuned for Kat. I know she'll be here. And let me see if I can get the outro music. I can. Watch this.